Thank you for tuning in to the Shikama Live Show. I know a majority of my audience is white, so these comments really are intended for black people, but it's something that I really need to get off of my chest. I want to talk about the professionalism of black business, or black business people. And mostly I'm talking about the professionalism of the low to mid-level black businesses, that is your corner stores and things of that nature, things of less than 10 million a year. Invariably, I keep track of black business tweets, and I have various searches, and I keep track of what people say, and invariably I hear black people in articles, on tweets, in blogs say the same exact thing. Now I'm going to put it in a more academic sort of sounding and a more professional sounding way. They are tired of black businesses being run unprofessionally. It's fine to be the ma and pa store on the corner. That's fine. It's fine if you say hello to your customers by name, you call them by name. That's fine. What is not fine is treating your customers with disdain. And what does that mean? Being disrespectful to your very customers, to the very people that come to your door. Now, that's obvious, right? You don't say, hey, what are you doing? I don't trust you coming into my store, to people you know who always invariably purchase things in your store. And there's people like that. I'm sure you've seen the Hollywood stereotype of the Korean versus black person, where the Korean person says that to the black person. I'm just concentrating on just black people. The same thing applies online. You don't say to your customers, your clientele online, that they need to adhere to your stuff or get out. Now, I run various forums, chat rooms, Facebook groups, Facebook pages, fan pages, and if anybody does anything that I don't like, I don't come unglued and then make a scene, a dramatic scene online with that person. I just remove that person, or I send them a personal message and say I don't want that on my forum or chat or page or what have you. That's how you handle business. You pull somebody aside. And why is that? Somebody told me when I was really first starting out here on YouTube, this is a business for me. I treat this and I run this as a business. It's under my corporate name. I treat this as a business. And somebody said, when dealing with people who make crazy comments on your YouTube videos, do not handle that in an unprofessional manner. Because as sure as you're living, if you say anything, regardless of what they said, they could be calling other people on the comments all sorts of whores and niggers and all that sort of stuff. Doesn't matter what they're saying. As sure as I am living and I make a comment against that person, I will lose tons of subscribers because of the way that I handle that person. And they said be very, very careful with that. My subscriber base is very mature. They're over the age of 45. They're 45 and up. All of you are 45. Most of you are 45 and up. Not all of you. Most of you are 45 and up. So I know that you are going to pay particular attention and expect professionalism from me. Now, of course, I'm always professional. I might make a joke here or two, but I try and treat all of you professionally. I try and treat you in my videos professionally. I'm not going to make a stupid video and question your intelligence and assume that you're stupid. The only thing that I do make room for is trying to explain something that is detailed or very sort of academic, and then I'll slow down and I'll say this is how it is, because a lot of the times I'm trying to fight the forces of news that has tried to explain something for years and years and years and beat it into your brains. And I'm trying to get through that, and I try and make sure that I speak in the simplest terms as possible so that people are clear about what I'm saying and that it destroys the propaganda that the news and media and teaching and the schools and politicians have built up. In particular, treating your clients like they're your children is the fastest and easiest way to lose your business. And online is business. If your business is online and you are branding something else, like say a chat room or a fan page or what have you, and although it might not be your business in particular, but it has your branding, people will remember your name and make sure they do not do business with you. And that is the problem with a lot of people, both in the real world and online. Especially, I'm talking about black business. Unprofessional. Telling somebody, and you better not respond to this or I will kick you out. Oh, well, all of us need to, everybody leaves. If that's how you handle things. I have never said that to anybody online, never. Or not that I can remember. I pull them aside or send them a private message, or if it's egregious enough, I'll just remove them. That's how you handle it. That's how you handle business. You don't do business with them. You don't want them as a client. You just remove them as a client. And it doesn't affect anybody else. It doesn't. Unless, you know, it's that person's wife or husband or something like that. And then they leave. But that's about it. That's how it's handled. And a lot of black people don't understand this. They say, oh, they covered it up. No, a lot of times what they're doing is trying to save their business face, their reputation as a business. They're not going to handle something unprofessionally. Now, I'm not talking about criminal stuff. I'm talking about argumentative business, that type of stuff. I'm talking about, you know, the small, having a rough day type of stuff. I'm not talking about they're cooking the books and covering it up. I'm talking about somebody starts screaming in the middle of a store, or somebody gets upset in a meeting, in a board, in a shareholders meeting. You don't go over there and beat the person up. You just have them removed, and then you talk to them and say, what was your concern? You know, and you be as calm and as professional as possible. You don't fly off the handle. And then we have people complain, black people complaining about black business, that they went into the black business, the black store, and let's say their ham was twice the price of other stores, and it was dated, like it was about to expire, and that's always the case, that every time they go in there, everything is about to expire and it's twice as expensive. And instead of the business owner trying to fix that, they tell the person to get out. And what's the real problem there? You hear that a lot. What's the real problem? The real problem is that that store was opened without enough funds, without enough contacts, without enough business acumen. They haven't made the connections for a good transportation or a good warehouse or what have you, and so they're getting stuff, somebody's cast off, somebody's hand-me-downs, and opening up a business. Now that might be fine if you're doing that out of your house or on your front lawn or something like that. You know, you'd be like, this is going to go to waste anyway, I might as well sell it. Okay, and I'm going to give you a good deal on it because it's almost expired. No, they open up a business like that. That's crazy. So it's not just professionalism, it's doing your homework. And these are the major sticking points with black business. Professional, doing your homework. Professional, doing your homework. Professional, doing your homework. And your homework is making business contacts. Understanding the taxes of the business. Understanding what you have to do for the city to open a business. Online as well. If you're selling something online, that you have a really good online presence. That you have a pristine website, not a horrible website that I just don't understand it. You know, I do web design myself. I taught myself, I trained myself. I've learned most of the language for web design, and then I do graphic design myself. Something that I studied myself. I researched myself. I started a business of web design for clients myself. I started it for myself and then offered my skill to other people, and at the level that I'm priced at the level that I think I am worth, which is $5,000 for a 20-page site, which turns out to about 100 pages, or on up to $25,000, because I'm worth it. And that's what good designers, but I do everything in-house. Everything is covered in-house. You don't have to go and outsource this and that and the other. I handle everything. That's what I did. I see supposedly major black organizations online with websites that look like they came from 1990. I mean, just outdated websites. You can't have an online presence like that. This is simply telling black business people to get your act together. And here's another thing. T-shirts. T-shirts is not a business. You know who can do t-shirts as a business? A name brand. Levi's can have a complete store of t-shirts and they can make millions. You, homeboy around the corner, selling t-shirts, unless you're selling it on the corner, I mean, really, you're trying to make an empire out of sand. I mean, it's just, you're trying to sell water to people in Niagara. I mean, it's just, that's not a business model. And it just seems like, I understand you want to do something. Well, do something that doesn't cost money. Because I know what the prices are. It could be $500 for web hosting, $500 for the website name, if you're trying to get ranked, if you want to be ranked. Sure, you can pay $5 a month for a name and $8 a month for hosting, and you will not be ranked. If you're gonna do it right, right? So you have a t-shirt business that you sell. How many t-shirts? How many t-shirts do you sell a day? A day. How many t-shirts do you sell a day? How many of your CDs do you sell a day? What's your marketing scheme look like? How much budget do you put towards marketing? How much do you put towards your online presence? This is what you do. And selling a t-shirt isn't going to cover that. Selling your own CD isn't going to cover that. With no marketing. With no actual online presence. You have to come correct. You have to really be about business. And lastly, this whole thing is you really have to care about the people. You really, like the girl said, I'm opening up a veterans home. I'm looking for some sort of real estate, some properties in the Ohio area. And then somebody said, oh, you really have to care about the vets. You really have to care. You have to be really passionate. No, she doesn't. And this is the last point. Black people, stop trying to run business and leave church alone, out of it. Completely out of it. Because as much as you are going, oh, God is going to, you're going to run off all of your partners, all of your potential partners, your transport, your warehouse. They're going to drop you. Why? Because they don't want to hear it. They don't have time for it. You know when they have time for that? When they go to church, when they go to their own church. That's when they have time for that. Oh, God is... And then you translate that into, oh, you have to be passionate about loving the people. No, you don't have to love people. You have to love business. You have to love money. Black people have been taught that capitalism is bad. Have you read Adam Smith? He said, love your business. If you love your business, you will treat your clients excellently. I love my business. I treat my clients, my viewers, my subscribers, my friends list, my fan page people excellently. Why? Because I love my business. The same thing about the burger flippers trying to ask for $15 an hour. they would have to fire you immediately and probably shut down the business. Do you really think that that's all they have is just one burger store? They probably have like me, they probably have real estate. They probably have some sort of commodities that they're selling. They probably have some sort of consumer goods that they're selling, that durable consumer goods, not food, that they're selling. $15 an hour. Really? For flipping a burger? How much do we pay soldiers? How much do we pay people walking the street and arresting criminals? How much do we pay them? $15 an hour. Capitalism, black people, is the only way that we went from derelict slaves, illiterate slaves, illegal to educate slaves, to, in the 1960s, the fourth richest nation on the planet. Capitalism. It wasn't socialism. It wasn't communism. It was capitalism. In capitalism, you work with people. You work with your clients. You treat your clients excellently. You treat your business partners excellently. This stuff that you see on Wall Street now is not capitalism. And that's where you don't do your homework. The whole God will provide, and you have to put God first. People don't want to hear it. If you're going to make oodles of profit, some of your partners might be completely atheistic. And no matter what you say, no matter how hard you preach, all you're going to do is lose a potential partner. And if you say, well, that's okay, that person might be the only person who fills up transport for gas in the entire United States. It happens. Trust me, it happens. They might not call it a monopoly, but it's a monopoly. And you're trying to beat that person over here with your God stuff, they're just gonna say no. And your business will fail. End of story. So quit it with the God. Let me tell you this. Logical observation. If in a black neighborhood you have $1 million properties on down to $10,000 properties, where would you say the best possible place to put a business would be? Time's up. In the $1 million properties. In the black neighborhood, what do you think is sitting on the $1 million properties? That's right, you got it, churches. So, black people, you are killing yourselves. You have black churches on your corner commercial properties. You're killing yourself. And you complain. Here's the problem. Here's my problem. That you complain about being poor and broke and that your community is going down. Oh, but those churches are nice and big. You're killing your own self. Professionalism and excellency. You need to do your research on all of this that I talked about. Thank you for watching the Shigama Live Show.